welcome to your messages for the week. Today is Sunday, the 28th of July, 2024. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Deborah Jane Sutton, and you can find out more about me and the things that I do from my website at deborahjanesutton.com, from Facebook, Deborah Jane Sutton, or from this YouTube channel. So have a good browse around. There's lots on here. And the cards very niftily came out, which is always a good sign. They are face down. I don't know what they are, but they wanted to come out. And there's a fifth one. Oh, maybe they're still coming. Let's just double check. I don't want too many, otherwise I'll be talking all day. But they seem quite chatty. Just having to move the microphone so that I can fit them all on. No, that's it. Let's have a look and see where we're going with this. The Queen of Wands. She says sovereignty. Sunflower says happiness. What does sovereignty really mean? That no one can govern us. Only we can govern ourselves. And a lot of people view that as quite like, a sign of anarchy, a sign of rebellion and hatred for authority and for governments and for things like that. And it can be born out of that, obviously. But sovereignty is really about understanding that you are the creator of your own reality. It's not a case of, I'm going to fight the system. They're not going to hurt me. I'm going to protest. They can throw me in jail. It won't bother me. No, that is entangling with the frequency and consciousness of whatever it is that you're fighting against. Even just using the word fight tells us that you have an entanglement energetically with whatever it is that you're opposed to. You have an energetic connection and a reflection, let's say. So very often it can be control or whatever it is that you're resisting in the outside world, being controlled. So the question is, where are you trying to control things? You might be trying to control other people, especially when it's partners and grown-up children. You might be trying to control your human experience. Good idea not to try and control that one, because trust me, the universe will have greater dreams than you could even fathom in your human mind. So let go of trying to control that one. And it could be greed, it could be manipulation, but on some level, if it's bothering you, if you feel like you have to fight that in the outside world, then it's because there's some part of you that is vibrating at that frequency. It means that there is a vibrational match. There's something in you. It could be that you have had a past life as a perpetrator similar to the ones that you have resistance to. Be open-minded to all of this, because this is how energy works. Just because you're lovely in this lifetime doesn't mean that you've always been lovely. So as soon as we can take that on board and get out of denial, it helps us release that resistance, which helps us find true sovereignty, which is basically understanding that you have total power and sovereignty over your own energy, because you get to choose. Even if somebody is treating you badly, okay, it's probably a reflection that you're treating yourself badly. But even so, it's how you respond to that is creating your reality. Your reality is created in every now moment from your frequency, your level of consciousness, your perception of what it is that you're experiencing in your human experience, in your human life, in your physical everyday life, how you respond and react, and the feelings attached to that, because the feeling is the secret. Neville Goddard, link in the description, because if you are able to rise above what it is that you're observing and see it for what it is, doesn't mean liking it, doesn't mean condoning it, but seeing it from an untriggered state of awareness, seeing it from an open-minded state of awareness. If it does trigger you, do the inner work. Why am I triggered? Do I have a past life? I see this a lot. I do the past life healings and I see it a lot. The things that people have the biggest issue with is because in another lifetime they were that thing, that person, that perpetrator that they have an issue with. And it's self-hatred. It's always self-hatred. You can't hate something outside of you unless you hate something inside of you. That's the second of the Hermetic principles, the principle of correspondence, as within, so without. It's not as without, so within, is it? It's as within, so without, as above, so below. So if there is something that you hate, something that you have resistance to, so anything like this, there's something inside of you. There's a part of you that you have resistance to. And probably digging deeper and getting out of denial. You know, I mean, it's one thing to say, you know, oh, I'm not perfect, I know that. But if you're still pointing fingers and in a state of separation, them and us, then you're still not integrating the whole, are you? And it could be from past life trauma where, or from this life or past life where your soul has experienced so much trauma that a part of it, you know, leaves. And that's why soul retrieval is such a big topic, because we want to retrieve all parts of our soul. And that's why most of us don't feel complete in some way. It's because literally we have soul facets all over the place. And when we say to people, we have a phrase in English, excuse me, that says to give your heart and soul to somebody. I see this a lot with the past life healings. If somebody has given their heart and soul, you know, in a loving, generous way, but they literally do it. Words are spells, remember. And when they say these things, they are literally affirming them. And we create from our thoughts, our words, and our actions. So it's one of the underlying causes of this soul loss that is so common. So yeah, soul retrieval, if that's an issue, link in the description to my website, because I do the past life healing, which can help with that if you feel that that is one of your issues. But yes, sovereignty, understanding that only you are creating your reality. There are other people under your direction. There are other people playing parts in your reality, obviously, but they're doing it for your benefit. And they're taking their direction from you and your frequency, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. So basically, the more you love yourself, the more you will have actors in your life mirroring that love back to you. But if there's parts of you that you don't like, parts of you that you're denying, then there will be actors in your life vibrationally mirroring that back to you so that you can see it. So if you see it in another, you know that it exists in you. Now, one of the things that I think is difficult, one of the reasons that I think is difficult to get our head around this quantum perspective is the fact that what we're seeing outside of us is like an exaggerated form. So, you know, like the control of the government or the greed of the banks, you know, it's an exaggerated form, you know, where we're trying to control ourselves or the outcome of a situation, or where we're being greedy, you know, it's not on the same scale. And that's why it's easy to stay in denial and point fingers. Well, I'm not that bad. But the universe doesn't know the difference between scale. It only knows vibrational frequency, and like attracts like. So it doesn't matter whether you just took one chocolate more than you needed. Does anyone ever need chocolate? I don't know. Or whether you're a bank or a corporation that's just ripping people off left, right, and centre. The frequency is the same. And that's the vibrational match. So when people are holding mirrors up, it is very often a magnifying mirror. So if you feel angry with somebody, and she's fire, she's wands, And she can do that. You know, whether you get it off your chest by actually, you know, expressing that anger to a person, you know, outside of you holding the mirror, or whether you just stay on your own and write. That's a really good idea. What do you want to say to that person? Write it down, right? Just write it all down, or put it in an audio if you don't want to write. And just say everything that you want to say to somebody to get it out of your system, because it's important that you express this anger. We were taught not to be angry as children, so we tend to suppress anger really easily. But any emotion, whatever it is, however you're peed off, you know, you can record it into your voice recorder on your phone, or just write it out and really go to town on it. Okay, really go to town on it, and be as petty as you like, but get it out of your system. And then read it back when you've calmed down, or listen to it back. And when you read it back or listen to it back, think of it coming from your higher self to your human. So imagine when you're reading it back or listening to it back, imagine that it's your higher self talking to your human, being angry with your human for whatever it is that you're angry about. And then just see if anything resonates. You can do that all on your own. You don't have to lose face. You don't have to do anything like that. You can just try it. It's a fantastic self-healing tool. When you feel that anger, the jealousy, the bitterness, the resentment building up inside of you, just get it out of you audibly or through writing. Take a pause and then listen to it back, read it back. Does anything resonate? Is it relevant to your human on some level? Remember, the outside person holding the mirror, it's a magnifying mirror. So you're just going to ask yourself, is there something there that resonates with you? Because if there is, that's your solution, is by releasing whatever it is that's within you. When you release whatever it is that's within you, whether it be the control, the greed, the manipulation, whatever it is, you observe it, acknowledge it, own up to it, love yourself anyway. When you can do that and release any emotions just by feeling into them, or the emotion code, if you do that, and then you may be tested by something coming into your reality again, just so that you can see that your reaction is different, your reaction is calmer, and that you can take a breath before you respond. You know, well, it's like the spiral of evolution. When we have issues, they will come in again at a higher level of consciousness to give us the opportunity of dealing with the issue at a higher level of consciousness, so we can deal with it differently, with more peace in the heart, you know, with less anger. And we can see that progress within us when that starts happening. So that's really beautiful. And then after a while, whatever it is not going to be a vibrational match to you. If you've released all the control, you've let go, and you're just floating, letting the divine flow through your human, get your human out of the way. That's what Abraham Hicks always says, isn't it? Get your human out of the way. It's so true. And let the divine flow through you. When you get to that stage where you're just not hindering your own path, if you know what I mean, then these things that have been bothering you, they will not be a vibrational match to you or anything inside of you. And therefore, there will be no tyrannical government. There will be no greedy banks. There will be no manipulating companies, corporations, or whatever it is that's upsetting you. They will not exist anymore, because there isn't just one reality. It's not like there's one world. If there's 7 billion people on the planet, then there's 7 billion realities. In fact, there's infinite number of realities, because remember, sliding doors. Everybody has got millions of realities, plus all our past life realities all going on. I mean, there's infinite realities going on. but you're only aware of one, right? And we're only focused on one at the moment, but there's 7 billion of us. So there's 7 billion, different timelines, different realities. The way I see people is not the same way that my, friend sees people. They might be similar, of course, but no two people's path is exactly the same. So, and our view of life is completely based on our own experiences, our own trapped emotions, our limiting beliefs, our own level of consciousness. So we are all creating a different reality. So there are people living in heaven on earth that, clearly they don't have a television, they don't need a television, they're drinking clean water, they're looking at clear skies. This exists because if you focus on what it is that you don't like, you will keep it in your reality. Simple as that. That's a quantum truth. And I apologize for not being a quantum physicist and being able to explain it in more detail, but most people can't get that detail anyway. But we can just feel the truth, can't we, in these quantum truths? But if you're focusing on the things that you don't prefer, you are literally energetically entangling with them and giving them permission to stay in your reality. It's not burying your head in the sand. You can be totally aware of what's going on. She is totally aware of what's going on, but she is using her natural healing abilities. She's using her natural psychic abilities. She's sovereign because she's not listening to anybody else's guidance. I mean, she might listen to it. She's not rude. And she might resonate with it, in which case she might take it on board. Okay, she's not arrogant, although actually wands can be. If there was a queen that was going to be a little bit arrogant, it would be the Queen of Wands, but in a nice way. If you can be arrogant in a nice way, she's just confident. She's confident of her own abilities to heal herself and to follow her own intuition, and she doesn't really need any other guidance. But that doesn't mean that she's closed-minded or bigoted or anything like that. I'm painting a bad picture of her. She's amazing. She's lovely. We all want to be more like the Queen of Wands. She's like a witch, a really healthy, healing witch that understands magic. I mean, she's the Queen of Wands and she has a black cat and a wand, right? So she is a witch and she understands magic, and she creates from that high level of understanding. So yeah, beautiful. The devil. So this is the banks, the tyrannical government, and all the things like this that are inside of us that we're trying to fight it on the outside of us, and it doesn't work like that because it's on the inside of us. And there's that scene, isn't there? I don't actually watch Star Wars, believe it or not, but I did see a scene where Luke Skywalker finally got hold of Darth Vader and cut his head off, and then the head rolled, and when he looked inside the helmet, it was his own face. And the demons and the devil and all of this is actually all within each and every one of us. It's the parts of us that we've disowned. It's the parts of us that we refuse to see. We refuse to take it on board, that our reality is an energetic one, and that there is everything in the infinite field of consciousness. There is everything, the all that is. So all the good and all the bad exists there. But you get to experience that which you resonate with. So if you keep focusing on the bad, you're resonating with it. And that's what you're experiencing. But you can't eliminate energy, because if someone has thought it, spoken about it, or taken action, it's there in the infinite consciousness. It's all on mental. The universe is mental. It's all done on thought. So if anyone has ever dreamt, imagined, visioned, thought, believed anything, it exists. So that's why your dreams can be really wacky. But if you've had a wacky dream, it exists somewhere. Does that make sense? And so it's not you can't eradicate it. All you can do is cleanse it from your own experience by cleansing it from your own energy field. Does that make sense? We are on the right path. We are going forward. Wow, we've got we've got lots of pentacles going on here. This is a really good sign, because pentacles is abundance, including financial. And I honestly believe that our level of consciousness is our new currency. Your level of consciousness is your new currency. There are people that are still stuck in jobs that they hate because they think they need the money. Whereas when they take a moral decision, you know, and take a step towards what their soul really wants to do, then the, you know, the world gives you everything that you need in order to live a new reality at that level of consciousness. Your level of consciousness expands when you follow your moral compass, when you follow your authenticity. What you think, what you say, and what you do has to be in harmony. So if you're going to work hating it, you're thinking that it's horrible, but you're being nice to the boss or what have you, you know, it's all out of alignment, isn't it? It's really, I'm going to put a link in the description to a book called Choose Yourself by James Altucher. I don't know whether I pronounced his surname correctly there. But that was the book. I read that book, and within a year I was out of the day job. And so I think it's powerful. But yeah, this is slow and sure, right? Because understanding these quantum concepts is a slow but sure process, isn't it? These changes, these manifestations don't seem to be happening overnight, but it is stable, and it's understanding that he is confident, he has abundance, he's focused on his abundance, and he's focused on his abundance as in what brings me love, what brings me joy, what brings me health, what's the healthiest path for me? Because being in a relationship where there's no love is not healthy. Being in a job where there's no love is not healthy. You know, doing things on a daily basis that you don't love is not healthy. So this is about following what it is that you love, following your own guidance, following your own abundance. You know, where are you feeling most love in your life? Do more of it. Where are you experiencing more joy? Do more of it. When are you healthiest? Do more of it. You know, he's telling us to do that. This is a financially stable one. He's giving to the poor, and so he has plenty. But there is a little message here about giving to the poor, helping those less fortunate than yourself. Random acts of kindness. I think it's one of the easiest and quickest ways to kickstart yourself out of a rut, or out of depression, or out of, you know, just feeling low. Just random acts of kindness. Give something away. Go and smile at someone. Go and carry some bags. It doesn't matter. Go and offer a freebie to somebody, whatever it is you do. Because random acts of kindness, I've always been a big fan of those. We've got the Eight of Pentacles as well. Now, he's working really hard, but I don't like the word work or hard, because what he's doing is he's totally engrossed in what he enjoys. Now, do you really enjoy fighting the system? Do you really enjoy hitting your head against a brick wall? No. What is it that your soul really wants you to be doing? You know, is it dancing? Is it being in nature, hugging trees? Is it writing books? Is it writing poetry? Is it making crafty things? Is it cooking? You know, what is it? Is it reading cards? You know, or holding space for people, listening to people, helping them heal, learning healing modalities? Is it painting, drawing, modeling, making jewelry? I don't know, walking in nature. What is it? What creative endeavors do you really enjoy? Maybe you like doing puzzles, you know, whatever. He's really engrossed in what he's doing, and it is helping him create his abundance. Maybe because he's going to sell whatever it is that he's making, or sell the service that he's offering. But it could also be because while he's engrossed in that process, he's engrossed in the creative process. And while he's engrossed in that, his human mind is put to the side. What did we say? Get your human out of the way. Very often when we're engrossed in something like that, our human is out of the way, and it opens up the portal to the divine. And very often when you're engrossed in something that you enjoy doing, it could be something, I often find it when I'm driving on my own, especially if I'm driving on familiar roads. So if you're driving back home on your own, so you're on a road that you know really well, we can often drive like subconsciously. I know it sounds a bit dangerous, but it's, you know, we've done it so many times. And you're on automatic pilot. It's that automatic pilot feeling, isn't it? And when you're in that state, very often your human is out of the way, and you can access some wonderful guidance. So anything that comes through for you, any ideas. Oh, the next card is ideas. I mean, yeah, wow. Yeah, so any ideas. Aces are new. Swords are mental processes, thoughts, beliefs, ideas. So any thoughts that come to you, new thoughts, new ideas, aha moments. This card is very much associated with aha moments. So any aha moments that come to you while you're engrossed or on automatic pilot, or while you're just, daydreaming or whatever, then you need to heed them. You need to heed them, because they're coming to you for a reason, and they're taking advantage of the fact that your human is out of the way, and they're like, hey, quick, the human's out of the way, quick, get these divine messages through. And that's why we often have aha moments when we're doing something. We could be jogging, swimming, anything on our own, and also those beautiful moments just before you fall asleep and just as you wake up. That's when your brain is in theta brain waves, and that's a real portal to the divine. So any ideas that you have, any wording, if you're trying to write a book or something, some words will come. If you're having an argument with someone or a disagreement with somebody and you want to express yourself better, you'll find that the right words will come. Ideas about how you can be creative, ideas about where you can be creative and how you can take the next step in life. All these messages can come through, and it'd be easy to disregard them, but you have to ask yourself, why are they coming to you at this time? So, wow. And the last card is the Death card, which I know a lot of people have an issue with, but it's the end of the job you hate. It's the end of that controlling relationship, even if that controlling relationship is with, I don't know, the government. It's the end of that paradigm. We're not living that paradigm anymore. We are creating our own new grassroots up, healthy, loving new earth, which is governed by love and kindness. And that's what we're creating. And this is the death of the old way of living. It's the death of the old you, the you that kept yourself small, the you that had self-loathing, or the you that hates anybody. It's the new you that comes from the death of that ego. Get your human out of the way. We're not going to kill the human. It's not going to die. But we are going to just get that limited human thinking out of the way, and let the divine flow through. Because the Death card is the card in tarot with the greatest capacity for transformation. Okay, and she's a witch, and she's sovereign, and she knows how to transform not only herself, her reality, her community, but she does her part for the collective, so that together we can give birth to the new earth and create a beautiful new paradigm. So this is massive transformation. You notice the dawn in the background? That's the dawn of the new earth that we're creating together. But remember, we're all creating our own reality. So some people are still stuck here, and that's okay. But if you're observing it and being triggered, then you need to do the trigger work. Check out my Lessons in Awakening, number 11, Understanding Triggers. Because then if you're triggered by it, you still have an attachment to it. So then when you have released your triggers, and then you can look and see, keep an eye on what's going on, but you're so busy creating the new, you're so busy doing what you love with people that you love in places that you love, being creative. You wouldn't be here at this time of the Great Awakening if you didn't have a purpose inside, a really beautiful divine purpose, and inspiration to follow, because you are part of this transformation, and it starts by transforming yourself. Wow. That was quite a lot this week, wasn't it? Wow. And it's the last one for July. I will put a link in the description to the July messages, which are all about what does your soul want you to know, and what does your soul want you to do? Same thing, really. And of course, August is coming in this week. So keep an eye out for August, the messages for August. Anything else I want to say? Yes, Tarot and Beyond. If you there's details in the description. The next Tarot and Beyond Zoom call is on Sunday, the 11th of August at 7 p.m. Spanish time, which is 6 p.m. UK time, and middle of the day over the pond. Basically, I do a card reading, and then we dive into the spiritual lessons and apply them. See if we can apply them to our everyday life, small groups, so that we can really dive deep into helping the people on the call apply some of these quantum truths and these spiritual lessons and this wisdom that comes through tarot. So yeah, check that out. There's a link in the description to my website where you can find all of the details. I think it's all on the homepage. Yeah. So thank you for getting to the end of the video. Have a fantastic week. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you all. Have a fantastic time. See you in the next video. Bye for now.